Welcome to SE Custom Design. As promised, showing you every step of the way when we create a custom piece of something. Kind of like this cherry coffee table. It was a kitchen cherry table. All right, welcome to SE Custom Designs, watching SE Custom Designs. We're continuing the series where we're building bandsaw boxes. Don't be deceived by the box part. Out of a bandsaw. As you can see, this here is very not boxy. So what you're looking at here is the basically would have been thrown away because it was the solid block that came from inside of another bandsaw box. Instead of throwing it away, what we can do is take it and do something like this. Okay, so I'm probably going to take a while to put this together, maybe not too long. As you can see, what I did is I turned it into one of these. What is this? Well, it's anything the customer wants it to be. But what's impressive is that this came out of a block, a solid block like this. All right, so if you're following the series, you might recognize these guys. This is the latest bandsaw box, which we'll be selling at the craft show. But then there's drawers that came out that I made for that bandsaw box. And this was a solid piece of wood that came from that. So look what I turned it into. So whoever's going to buy the bandsaw box might also want to buy this. So as you can see, there's very little waste. So instead of tossing these in the garbage, you can turn them into something. And so that's exactly what I did. I also have other stocks of wood that I had through the years, and I was very industrious today, and I cut them all into their pieces. But now comes the time where you have to sand them. And so we're going to mount you here and show you the very end of that process. Sorry, y'all on the big TVs. So there's various types of sanders. This is a spindle sander from 14-inch oscillating spindle sander from Harbor Freight. I have another one that's here. This is my go-to. He can also receive these drums here. So what makes this guy stand out a little bit more is that he has a larger drum. Okay, so he is a 3-inch drum. Whereas this guy here, I think he's 2.5 inches, his largest drum. Let's have a look here. Whoops, I'm dropping pieces. So let me just, sorry about that. Let me just look over there. I can't actually see it, but I believe it's about 2.5 inches. So each unit has its benefits. This one solely has the spindles on it, whereas this guy here has like a belt sander. I don't even know if you can see what I'm saying. Yes, you can. That goes up and down, so that's pretty cool. It's the end of my day, and I'm a little tired. So here we go. A little bit of a tip. Before you glue these guys up, what you're going to want to do is sand the insides of the units, for which I have done here. Let's turn this light on. Maybe we can get a little bit more light going on. So this is nice and smooth. Once you glue these together, well, you're really not going to get, let me turn this off. You're not going to get into the cavity. So what you do is you set the sides aside, and you're going to want to sand the inside, for which I already did. Okay. Now, no worries, you can sand as much as you want on the inside, okay? Don't do that type of sanding on the outside, because you basically have to put back the piece, and the side pieces were cut exactly, however imperfectly, but they're going to go back exactly the same way they came apart, so if that makes sense. So you're not going to want to sand this either, this part here, okay, because, you know, maybe a little light sanding, maybe, But like I said, it's going to match exactly the way it was cut out of from here. Okay, so it goes back perfectly. The beauty of bandsaw boxes. So we already sanded this, so a little bit of a tip for you is to keep your spindles nice and clean. You're going to want to get one of these rubberized sticks here. You can see how it cleaned it up really, really nice. All right, so now the tip we have, take that off so you don't hear me screaming, is you're going to want to trace out the inside of the unit. First of all, make sure that it's going back and this is the wrong side, exactly to where it came from. So that's this side. And this is this side. So what you want to do is essentially dry fit it back together, like so, best we can. All right, and then trace the inside of the unit out. Again, making very sure that it is indeed the way it came apart. Fit those together. Okay. And then take a pencil and trace the inside. Okay, just like this. The bottom. You're going to want to do that. Trust me on this one. Because if you sand the parts that join together, they're no longer going to match perfectly. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So then take them apart. I'll use this as my sanding bench here, particularly because you can see what I'm doing. I'll set this aside. I have my DeWalt sander, a fresh sheet on there. This is 60 grit, because really there's a lot of grooves in there that I need to address. But I want to be very careful that I don't go over those lines. You will pay the price for doing such things. So here we go. Would help if I plugged it in. Alright, it's no big deal if you cross over a little bit. Then what we're going to want to do is take a finer grit, and we'll use this unit. Now if you're following my series, we go over every part of making bandsaw boxes. This is just a little bit extra This is not making a bandsaw box, but it's for all intents and purposes, it's like making one of the drawers. Okay, so let's just pretend we're sanding one of the drawers. Okay, so that's going to be fine. Now you can do a thing, what is called boxing. Let's see if I can find that unit. It's not called boxing. It's called, it's a word that you have to be careful saying, especially if one of your internet devices are listening. And make sure you get the swirlies out of there from the sander that I just used. All right, so that'll be enough for that. Now, technically, I can go ahead and I can glue this guy up, and I can be assured that it's going to be just fine. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more sanding because I can still see some swirlies in there. All right, but you get the idea. And the next thing is gluing them up. And I've showed you, I believe I showed you gluing these types of things up before. So just understand. Now, isn't this going to be beautiful? We'll sand the outside later on. All right, but isn't that really unique? That's really cool. So that's the fun parts of working with bandsaw boxes and the like. So I showed you all the blocks that I had before. This was one of the blocks. So, you know, what is this going to be? It'll be whatever the customer wants it to be. You know, they might look at it and it might identify with the customer. And they're going to want to buy that. I have this leftover piece here for which I cut one of these guys out of. It might have been this one here, actually. All right, so I may want to sell that with the unit. And that'll speak to the customer as well. All right, but he came out of there. Even if it's a demo of, hey, how does this work? So, all right. Thanks for watching SC Custom Designs. I will not be sanding every one of these, and you'll thank me. I got a lot of sanding to do. All right, and I still have more bandsaw boxes to make. Oh, by the way, so this is a sheen, by the way, and this is the letter shin, shin tav, the second to the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet. That goes to the shalom. I also took one of the round pieces that I had, and I made a bandsaw box out of that. Just cut it out. And so that was a lot of fun. So I've got all kinds of different shapes going on here. Thanks for tuning in to SC Custom Designs. Like I said, this is kind of like throwing in an extra episode on making bandsaw boxes. So I'm not sure where I will link this in. But thanks for watching. Continue to watch the series on bandsaw boxes, making the unit. I don't have that unit here. I took it to work for a little bit of show and tell. I'm a software QA guy in the daytime, nighttime, weekends. I am the woodworker. We have a lot of fun here at SC Custom Designs. I spent quite a bit of time today using the 14-inch bandsaw. This is 4 teeth per inch. I think it's a 3/8. Okay, you can see that he's nice and loose. You definitely want to make sure, do a little bit of tricking here, that this, I can't do it, knob is released. You don't want to have that pulling on the blade 24/7, okay? So I've done lots of videos, how to change a bandsaw blade, cleaning the wheels, etc. Forgot. We talked about the fast system from Carter. I do have the Carter stabilizer on here, so you can watch episodes on that. See if I can get them. There we go, the Carter stabilizer. I did get to meet Mr. Snodgrass in Secaucus, New Jersey at a woodworking show. It was a lot of fun going to that. So thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. Shalom uvracha. Goodbye to all the friends around the world. And thanks for subscribing to SC Custom Designs. Hit the bell and you'll be notified with new videos such as this one. Take care. God bless.